Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. D. Eric Body Beats. It's a vibe.
If you had to, you know me, I like my numbers in
Yeah, you
guessing.
do.
just for guessing purposes
Hold
to
on, let
make
me
it
get
make
the
sense.
numbers in ready.
What percentage of those situations are evil
I
where
don't know.
the person, and again, there's no right or wrong answer to this, but what do you think of the amount of people that had to leave people behind was because they were fucking them over or because those people just weren't on board? So, because a lot of people think Jay-Z or the dude from Little Birdman like literally fucked people over.
Yeah, but
as opposed to
that's a lot of people thinking stuff. That's a lot of people creating stories, which is supposed to happen. But that doesn't mean that it's
so
the
that
truth.
probably doesn't happen.
I mean,
it probably happens a little bit.
Well,
But not
according
as
to Birdman's recent interview, he even said himself, he was like, I was talking to Fresh the other day, and he was like, man,
I
I
saw
just
that.
I didn't know. Like, he was like, with publishing and shit, I didn't know shit about publishing. Like, bro, I was 20 years old, Universal or whoever it was, I think it was Universal, they gave me like $30 million. Like, I didn't know shit about no fucking publishing. Like, I was just paying niggas and thought we was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was 20 years old.
Right.
So he's like, but any dude that I ever like owed something to, I made it right with him and whatnot. And he, you know, he had his sorrows and whatnot. I'm pretty sure some shit behind it, but like a lot of times these niggas is 20 years old, especially in that type of game.
Right.
You 20 years old, coming off fresh of being a full-on drug dealer, already in the money, fast-moving game, right into the record business, the music business and whatnot, and getting $30 million at $20. Like
20 years old.
At 20 years old, and you running a whole cash money company, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't know what the hell he was doing, obviously. So, but he was like, and that of course, the stories are supposed to spread in their own ways with other people too. That's how the mind works.
See, I believe the old version of me would be like, yeah, I bet you it happens a lot more to get to that top. You probably had to fuck more people over. But now the new me thinks, think about this. Would you give a lot of money to a company you didn't fuck with?
Would I give a lot of money to a company I didn't fuck with? I think unintentionally we do a lot, but not intentionally. Intentionally, I wouldn't.
So maybe, I like how you put that. Intentionally, would you?
No.
Like if you thought this person was a bad person, you would not.
Correct.
So I'm thinking that's most people. I think most people agree. I'm not about to give my money intentionally to a bad individual. So I think business integrity is a lot higher than what society thinks it is.
The only fuck up about that is it's so included with everything that we do that it's all kind of mixed up. You can really, everybody's kind of, when businesses get so big in the $1 billion ranges and $1 trillion ranges, they're so a part of society that when they're fucking up, you really can't even get out of their loop. So you can't even kind of not be a part of it. And then when businesses start conglomerating and stuff like that too, then that's when shit kind of gets funky with it. Cause like, okay, this is all mixed up. I'm making it up, but let's say if I buy like a Wendy's cup or Wendy's Frosty, I won't want to support Wendy's, but then somebody else owns the cup. But then you gotta protest them or something like that, you know?
Right.
So it's like, it's all integrated and it gets interesting and funky in that way. But business integrity, of course, it's just one of those things you have to still kind of grapple with.
Personally, I feel like the way I want to run my business is with integrity.
Of course.
Like utmost.
Yeah, that's
integrity.
what I wanna lead. That's why I was leading with the sustainability and integrity and whatnot. I wanted to have something a part of the story where it can be integrity based too. So I feel what you mean.
Like I'd rather it feels better to me to do the right thing.
For sure.
You know what changed my philosophy on that is when Steve said, now y'all know Steve.
He's
He's a successful businessman. And I used to have an issue with, and he had this mindset at one point in his life too, that like, if you made a deal if you have a bill that you signed up for, let's say ComEd, and you know how much your shit is, so you working through this company, like y'all have a partnership, and then you don't fulfill your part of the partnership by not paying the bill, the old me was like, well, sorry, I don't got the money. I don't know what to tell you. And he was too. But then one day he changed it when he had his business, and then someone just didn't pay him.
Whew.
Right? And then it clicked to him like, damn, so I did all this work for you. Or if you were ComEd, I energized your home and you just not, you wasn't not paying when you didn't pay the bill, when you turned the heat on. You know what I'm saying? Like when when the AC was popping, you wouldn't, like, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, how would you feel if someone did that to CARESNONE? And that shit clicked.
It just burned.
It burned so hard because I'm like, it's business integrity. And not saying that I won't be put in situations where someone might not use business integrity against me,
Right.
but I can't control it. I can control what I want to do. And I'm like, I wouldn't want no one to do that to CARESNONE, so I'm going to put that good energy in mojo in the universe.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like good things tend to happen to good people. Shitty things tend to happen to shitty people. That's kind of how I feel. What you think?
I don't think so.
I feel like the more I'm intentional about being a good person, the more good shit happens to me.
I think that is a part of life for sure. But there's a lot of shitty people throughout history who've died very wealthy, healthy lives too. Intentionally or unintentionally too. But I do think that you can create great situations. I don't mean to like down it, but I was just saying that like that you do need to create great situations for yourself, and you can't put yourself in worse situations.
Yeah, like for instance,
But shit, life does happen is what I mean. That's what I mean.
yeah. But it's how you react to it though, right?
And it's how you react to it, which is most important.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,